It's recorded, it's recorded, it's recorded, it's recorded. Oh, so nice. Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking onto my video. Thank you so much for being here as well. So today I'm going to show you guys how to do your makeup and how not to do your makeup, and I've always wanted to do a video like this because I've been so inspired by so many other makeup artists, and me being Asian who has monolids, I feel like it's really important to show my Asian followers how to do eyeshadow and how to apply eyeliner as well. And of course, if you don't have monolids, these tips and tricks will help you out. On both sides of my face, I will be pretty much using the same products. That way you guys don't think, oh, she's using this product and it's the right products to use, and she's using this wrong products and I have it at home and I'm gonna have to throw it away. It doesn't work like that. If you have like this eyeshadow palette and you're finding a really hard time to blend it out, that might be because you're not used to blending it out, and there are some tips and tricks on how to blend it out. So yeah, I thought it would be easier to use the same products on both sides of the face. That way you guys can see the differences, and also the only things that will be different will be the foundations, because I want to show you guys how to choose your foundation color as well. So let's get started. On the correct side of my face, I'm going to use a mattifying and blurring primer. This is just to help fill in my pores because I've got really large pores and I've got extremely oily skin as well. And the primer helps a foundation glide on better onto the skin, and it just makes it look better as well. And you can see the difference what primer does to my greasy forehead. So the foundation I'm using matches my body, and I'm using a beauty blender to blend it out, and I'm blending it onto my jawline and onto my neck as well, and you can see that it really matches. On the wrong side of the face, I'm going to go ahead and use a very dark foundation that is actually my tanned colour, and yeah, it just looks so dark and I really don't like it. And I didn't blend the foundation on my neck or jawline. And you can tell the difference between the primer as well, like how large my pores are on the wrong side and how small my pores are on the right side. I personally like to use a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than my foundation colour. That way it can really highlight and blur out my my under eye bags, sorry. And on the wrong side of the face, I'm going to use a concealer that's extremely dark, because this is what I used to do back in the day, and it just emphasized my bags and it just doesn't look cool. Onto the eyebrows now. I like to use a spoolie and brush my brow hairs upwards, and then go in with a pomade with a very light hand and with minimal product, and just go in and shape my brows and fill in the sparse areas, and then go in with the spoolie again to blend it out, and then repeat with the pomade and fill in the sparse areas, and then go in and blend. It's very repetitive, but that's what helps you achieve a very natural looking brow look. On the wrong side of the face, I'm going in with a very heavy hand, and I have so much product on the brush as well, and I'm just literally putting it on my eyebrows without considering the shape or anything. And I've extended the tail extremely long as well, because this is what I used to do back in the day and it just didn't look that great. Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! No! I'm now applying some clear brow gel on the correct eyebrow. That way the hairs are emphasized a little bit more and it looks much more natural as well. And it also sets the brow hairs, which is very, very handy. I'm going to slightly bake the concealer, that way it sets and it doesn't crease or fade during the day. And on the wrong side of the face, I'm going in with a foundation color that is not really matching with the foundation that I have on already. If you are going to set your foundation with a foundation powder, make sure it's like a similar colour and it's not too drastically light or too drastically dark, because it will just end up looking very like cakey and not very well blended as well. I'm now going to use a little bit of concealer on the correct eyebrow just to make them stand out and make them look a bit more sharper and neater. On the wrong side of the eyebrow, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm applying a lot more concealer. I'm going in with a heavy hand, and it's going to end up looking really cakey as well, which is something we want to avoid doing, because around the eyebrows, you know, on the eyelids, we're going to put some eyeshadow on, and the last thing we want to do is put eyeshadow on a cakey eyelid. Dusting off the bake now because I am ready to contour. I am using a powder contour, and always tap off the excess whenever you pick up anything that's powder. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply it on the hollows of my cheeks and taking my time to blend it out because it's a very pigmented contour shade. Using the same contour shade on the wrong side of the face, I'm not going to tap off the excess, and straight away you can see how muddy it looks and how harsh the contour is, and it's just going to stress you guys out if you don't tap off the excess powder. Oh my god. To contour the nose, you always want to make sure you use the smallest amount of contour products, because I used to make the mistake of using really heavy contour products on my nose, and your nose is really small and you don't want to overdo it whenever you put contour on your nose, and it just killed me when I couldn't tap off the excess on the brush. Going in with a little bit of bronzer to warm up the face. As always, tap it off because it is a powder. I'm going to apply the bronzer just above the contour, that way it looks very infused and very well blended together. And then I'm just going to apply some on my forehead and jawline as well, just to warm up those areas. So it's not only my cheeks that has colours, but it's also my forehead and jawline as well. Now I am going to be a bit dramatic on the wrong side of the face, but this is actually how I used to apply bronzer when I was much younger. I used to apply bronzer literally underneath my eyes and all over my cheeks, and I didn't really blend it out properly as well. With blush, I like to start off with the smallest amount of blusher and then build it up, and I wish I knew this in school because that's not how I used to do it. What I used to do is that I used to literally just pack on the brush with lots of blusher and just put it on my cheeks without actually considering how much I have to blend it out, and I used to go really heavy with blush as well in high school. For highlighter, you want to make sure you blend it out, that way there's no harsh lines around the cheeks, because I've noticed that a lot of people, when they do wear highlighter, they forget to blend out the edges and it just ends up not looking very nice and infused with the whole entire makeup look. I'm going to do a very simple eye look for you guys that suits all eye shapes. I'm using the shade Raw Sienna from the Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette, and what I'm doing is I'm using a very small tapered eyeshadow brush, and I'll link it down below, that way you guys know what I'm talking about. And I'm just applying it on the bone of my eyelid, and that's going to create a transition as well as a very light contour shade as well. When it comes to holding your eyeshadow brush, make sure you hold it at the bottom and not at the top. This is just so your wrist has a lot more flexibility in terms of movement, and also you're not putting too much pressure on the eyeshadow. If you put a lot of pressure on the eyeshadow, it's going to have a very hard time blending out. On the wrong side of the face, I'm holding the brush at the top, and you can see how the brush head looks really stiff. That's because of the way I'm holding it. I'm now applying burnt orange where I applied raw sienna. This is just to help deepen the eyelid just a little bit more, so when I open my eyes it creates a bit of a shadow. And I'm also applying a little bit of burnt orange on the center of my eyelids, very close to my lash line but not extremely on the lash line, if that makes any sense. And on the wrong side of the face, I'm just going in with a very, very heavy hand. With a flat eyeshadow brush, I'm applying Cyprus Umber on my eye socket, and then I'm going to go ahead and get a fluffy brush just to blend it out so it doesn't look too harsh and it looks very natural as well. The colour Cyprus Umber in the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette, it acts as a contour. So when it comes to making your eyes look bigger, you want to contour it out because it creates a shadow, and that's how you make your monolids look much bigger and to convert them into a double eyelid. On the wrong side of the face, I'm going in with Cyprus Umber with a very, very heavy hand, and as you can see, I'm putting the eyeshadow right up to my brow bone because that is how I used to do my eyeshadow back in the day, and it looks so wrong. It doesn't really look like it's very well blended as well, and it's a dark eyeshadow that's going all the way up to my brow bone, which doesn't make any sense because it just looks very messy and it looks very almost like dirty in a way. To measure your wing liner, use your pen and angle it on the edge of your nose to your outer eyelid. And you want to make sure you use a pen eyeliner if you are brand new to using eyeliners and doing eyeliners, because it's just very quick and easy and there's more control as well. On the wrong side of the face, as you can see, I'm very excited. I'm just going in and do a very fat eyeliner that doesn't suit my eye shape at all. For lashes on the right side, you want to use a considerate amount of eyelash glue and you want to wait 40 seconds for it to go tacky, and then you can go ahead and apply it. When it comes to applying eyelashes, you want to make sure that you are applying it upwards and not downwards. If you apply it upwards, it makes your eyes look wider and bigger, and if you apply it downwards, it just makes your eyes look very closed. And you'll know what I mean when I do it on the wrong side of my face. As the lashes are drying, push the lashes upwards because it will look better. On the wrong side of the face, I'm applying a shitload of eyelash glue and not wait for it to dry and apply it downwards. And as you can see, my eyes pretty much look closed and weird. I'm overlining my lips on my good side because I like to emphasize the shape of my lips. And on the wrong side, I am literally not considering the shape of my lips. I'm applying lipstick, but a considerate amount. And on the wrong side, I'm literally going in. Like, I am applying so many layers, which is very unnecessary. I'm applying a little bit of lip gloss on my good side. This is just to emphasize my lips a little bit more. And on the wrong side, I'm applying layers and layers of lip gloss because that is what I used to do back in the day. And to set my good side, I'm using a mattifying setting spray because I have oily skin. And this is how I look right now. Half good and half bad. What do you guys think? And this is it, guys. I really hope this video really helps you guys out. If it does, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe as well and hit the little bell button. That way you never ever miss a video from me. Thank you so much for watching this. I love you all and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye. Pretty popular as well, so they are like good reviews. Oh my god, I can't talk.